2018, like any year, is filled with a lot of animated movies. However, I would say there is somewhat of a lack of original content. We've mainly got a lot of sequels and adaptations coming out, which is fine as long as they can keep the quality up. Apparently Madagascar 4 was slated to come out this year, but was delayed due to corporate restructuring at DreamWorks. Kinda sad because that's a sequel I could totally get behind, since I always thought the entire Madagascar trilogy was pretty underrated.
Rods will have to be calibrated, and don't even ask me about the uranium-238 blanket, okay?
And this scene was pretty cool too.
Be ready! You got it, boss! Go, go, go!
It's mainly the fast-paced, chaotic animation and humor that I really appreciate, something I think the Hotel Transylvania series has also done really well. Yes, Hotel T3 is coming out this year, and after the slight drop in quality of the last movie, I'm not really anticipating this sequel that much. I just wanted to mention it because I always thought these movies got a really bad rap for no reason. Some say the reviews are biased since Adam Sandler was involved in the screenplays and voices the main character, but I don't think that should cloud people's judgment on these films. Yeah, they may not be the greatest animated movies out there, but they're definitely far from some of the worst. The director Genndy Tartakovsky worked on some of the greatest cartoons back in the day, so it's easy to say there's some real talent behind the camera, and I think it shows. Nevertheless, it's probably going to be better than the Romeo and Juliet sequel, which literally no one asked for.
I'm okay! Excuse me.
Oh, Mankini, that is just... Are you done?
Speaking of movies no one asked for, Teen Titans Go is getting a movie in theaters, and I don't really have much to say about it. I don't get why this movie couldn't have just been on TV, because we're getting a live-action Teen Titans series soon anyways, and I don't think hardcore DC fans really care for this more cutesy style of these characters after the greatness that was the original show. But then again, the Lego Batman movie was awesome because of how it parodied the superhero genre, which is the direction this film is blatantly going for. The trailer was pretty funny in that way, so I'm sure it'll be a fun movie, but not one anyone will actually rush out to see or remember in a few years. Marvel, on the other hand, is actually making something I'm pretty interested in. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is an idea I've wanted to see in live action for a while. The main point of this storyline is to unite different Spider-Men from different universes, so it was a no-brainer that everyone wanted to see all the movie iterations of Spider-Man on screen together for this idea to work for general audiences. However, that's something that I don't think even Marvel is confident enough to do, so I guess this is the next best thing. I really love the art style here, and am just intrigued by the kinds of different Spider-Men from different dimensions they could pull from. It's also something different from the classic Spider-Man plots we've been accustomed to, so yeah, I'm actually hoping this one is pretty good. Keeping on the subject of superheroes, we have one of the most anticipated sequels coming out this year.
You have powers! Yeah, baby!
The Incredibles 2 is finally hitting theaters this June, and my expectations are high as fuck. Pixar sequels are usually pretty good, but never touch the magic of their predecessors. Toy Story so far, in my opinion, is their only franchise to have amazing sequels, and it did that twice. So yeah, Incredibles 2 may end up being like a Monsters University or Finding Dory, or it might actually surprise us. Director Brad Bird has talked about waiting so long because he wanted to tell the right story, so I have some hope here. The trailer was not what I expected at all though. I expected a much bigger time jump after hearing rumors about an evil, older Jack facing off against his family, but I guess they wanted to keep the tone more familiar. I also really hope that the trailer isn't a sample of the whole movie, and that the story won't just focus on Elastigirl and leave Bob to babysit at home until the final battle. It's been like 15 years, so I want to see these characters do a lot more in the time that they have on the big screen. Another hotly anticipated sequel coming later this year is Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2. Yeah, not a big fan of this title, but anyway, I was actually more excited for this than I was for The Incredibles back when it was announced. But the trailer kind of changed my mind. I never really liked the idea of movies trying to spoof the internet because of how big and diverse in character and content the internet inherently is. It kind of feels like they've ditched all the rich character development and story of the last movie and are just using the characters we love to guide us through the funny jokes and references they want to entertain us with, since the internet can be this limitless playground for that kind of stuff. I hope that this isn't the case and that there is an actual point to Ralph and Vanellope going on this adventure. I also hope that the other characters like Felix make a return and not just a glorified cameo. There were talks of footage showing Marvel, Star Wars, and other Disney characters crossing over into this movie, which is obviously really cool, but I feel like they're losing sight of the video game theme that made the last movie so special.
I'm gonna wreck it! Fix it, Felix! I can fix it!
Like after the first film, there was lots of talk about what video game characters would show up in the sequel, but I guess all that was possibly thrown out the window. I do like how at the end of the trailer they at least visit an online mobile game, so hopefully there's game stuff still present in the plot. But yeah, other than that, the jokes were pretty good, and I'm definitely excited to see this because of how much I love the original Wreck-It Ralph. But then again, if this film doesn't give us our fill of video games and movies, then there's always the upcoming Mario movie to look forward to. And I have a lot of thoughts about that, but I think that deserves its own video.